Bio due diligence. Evening, sir. How you doing? Green and pink sparkle. Tom, how you doing? How you doing, Mr. Graff? Oh, I'm just getting squared away here. Um, alrighty. Let me put these somewhere else. So, because I'm a total degenerate, I bought a couple of each format. Uh, just because one of the coolest things I think that Heritage they did with Heritage last year was to introduce the parallels per format thing. I never really was a big fan of Heritage until last year. Um, I ended up doing my little project where I decided I was going to build the Padres team rainbow in each parallel. And it was a lot of fun. And it was actually pretty darn cheap, considering like most of these cards I got for $2 or $3. And I got blue sparkles. And it appears they continued that this year. So I'm kind of stoked because I'm the only person who likes the Padres. Aside from a couple players, Padres cards are generally cheap on eBay. Amazingly enough, with the update or the Heritage High number, Mason Miller is really expensive. I've paid more for his cards than anyone else's. I have so for 26 Heritage for 25 Heritage, the not the high number, just the base set. I didn't do reds or supers, but I did every other thing from orange up. The only one I'm missing is the orange refractor of Drake Cronenworth. I have every other card. And I'm missing like 15 out of high number. And they just haven't even been on eBay at all, which is bothersome. But I threw it away. And I think, from what I can tell, except the hobby box, that looks different. Blasters, dark green and pink. I think that's what they did last year. Look at that, start with a Padre. So I'm probably going to do the same silly thing this year because I'm silly like that. Jurickson, Noah, Austin Riley, Beves, Chrome of Kyle Bradish. It has a decent rookie checklist as well. Jack and Roman, McLean, all the ones that Tom pulled earlier. Yeah, Mizurowska. That's a different guy. Hood's favorite player, Altuve. Christian Walker. Cal Raleigh. Yeah, and like the past couple years, if it's a parallel, it's marked parallel. Ellie De La Cruz Pink Sparkle. It's not a bad one. Mike Trout. This is, I started with the value box. So I think the value box was pretty, I think it was like 2 of each parallel or 3 of each parallel. I'll figure it out when I'm done. Blaylock, Castellanos, Bode, Clark, Dingler, Chandler, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The interesting thing is, like, so they're just base parallels, but someone ran really good numbers on these last year. And some of these parallels were only printed out to like 400 or 500 copies. They're rarer than they would seem. And yeah, I noticed that on the high number checklist as well. It didn't have the short prints. I assume it's the same as last year. 401 to 500 is the variation shows up right there. I should have a high number short print in this box. I should. I don't know that I will. Kikuchi Championship. Bradley Rodriguez. No, not that. Connor Norby. No. They put a lot of rookies in the high numbers last year, so I'm assuming that there's going to be some rookies up there. Jacob Wilson Rookie Cup, Robert Suarez, Corbin Carroll, Carlos Correa. It's one of the insert sets, Enterprise. It's annoying that there's no odd sheet yet. Because one of the insert set that was really tough to build last year was like the famous people, historical figures. They didn't show up all that often in the packs, and there were 100 cards in the series. It doesn't say it's a variation. I was looking at some of the variations. There's a variation that involves the banner. Don't know what it looks like yet. And then there's negatives, image variations, something about like an all-star symbol. Martin Schneider, Gavin Lux, Victor Robles, Andrew Hoffman, Bobby Witt Jr., Kyle Bradish, Pink Sparkle, and Willie Adames. So far, I have no high numbers. Mizzy Orowski, Talkman, McMahon, Ha-Sung Kim, Mookie Betts, Samuel Basayo, Green Rookie, and Kyle Isbell. So far, I have no cards over 400, so Nandi Diaz, Matt Shaw, Leaders, Anthony Volpe, Christmas, Dom Smith, and Michael Harris II. All right. So 2 chrome, 2 pink sparkle, 2 green, 1 insert, and a Miz rookie from a blaster. Last year, if I remember correctly, blasters were one of the worst values parallel-wise. To me, it felt like megas were the worst, but I think blasters actually beat them out for being horrible. My favorite was fat packs, the big boned packs. I thought they were really good value. Yeah, I really think adding the sparkles to Heritage was a good call. Oh, how many? Base red, silver sparkle. Seventeen packs in the mega. How many packs were in this? 7, 8. Yeah, so the mega you get 1 more pack over the value. Volpe, Ryan McMahon, Michael Taylor, Giancarlo, Chris Sale, Spencer Torkelson, Silver Sparkle, Parker Meadows. Still no high number. Ready and Action of Nolan McLean. That looks like a really... Huh. Evening, Cancer. How you doing? Robert Suarez. I really need to go get my eyes checked, but I have to get my eyes dilated, which means I can't, my pupils dilated, which means I can't work after I do it. And so I have to figure out when I'm going to do that. Bragley Rodriguez on the red. Ezekiel Tovar. Yeah, I can't really. One of the guys I work with is out getting a double bypass tomorrow, so I kind of can't take a day off for funsies right now. Rookies. Oh, I love these. I saw they were bringing these back. I can't see who's on this card because of all the sparkles. But, you know, if you know the 77 set, one of these quad rookie cards has world famous catcher Dale Murphy on it. There's also another one with Andre Dawson. Carson Seymour, Joe Rock, Elvis Alvarado, and Alan Rangel. Dingler, Bubba, Schwarber, Mike Trout, Chrome, Aroldis Chapman. I'll check for that later. I wasn't planning on watching WBC, but Stephen Kwan, Chris Bryant, Chrome, Rhys Hoskins. Yeah, the interesting thing, because with all the parallels in the different formats, the Chrome was consistent through all the formats. So the Chrome was the most plentiful of all the variants. I think that'd be weird if they didn't do a high number with Heritage. Oh, that was dumb. Denzel Clark on the red. Matt Shaw, Rookie Cup. That's what I want to do. Seven. Well, I thought that Aaron Judge might be a variation with the All-Stars. I saw something about an All-Star variation, so I was thinking maybe that was a variation. It has the same code as everything else. Langford, Mitra, Leiter, Kate Horton, Jackson Churio, Mickey Moniak on the Silver Sparkle, and Mizurowski. Yeah, I was talking about I've never been a big fan of Heritage until they added all the fun, shiny sparkle cards and stuff. Then I dug it because then I can build weird rainbows for cheap. Another quad rookie, Little, Melton, Raquette, and Darnell. Mike Talkman. Dylan Dingler Red, Austin Martin. Torres Jones, Imanaga, Shanuel, McKinstry, Bader. It's William Contreras on the silver, Schneider. I think it was the hanger last year that had my favorite combo of parallels. I think that's the one that had the burgundy parallel. The burgundy sparkle. I thought that was the best of them. Refractor, Max Fried and Freddie Peralta, Gavin Lux. What was the other? Was it yellow, green, blue, red, purple? It was burgundy, and I think that was the purple paper. Ooh, I got a. Oh, it's color of the year, I bet. I was wondering if they were going to do these. Yeah. Color of the year. So that's numbered to 77, and it says 77 behind it. These are, man, where does this clown keep his penny sleeves? Can't take this dude anywhere. So yeah, as a breaking to try and make money product, this isn't the best one, just because that's actually a good hit, number to 77, and you might get $8 or $9 for it on eBay, and that's going to be the best card in the box. Bubba Chandler, red rookie. It's not too bad. Jacob Wilson. So now I got to flip through and see if. See, I try and be slick and check both. See, I always think this is weird. There's two different card stocks they use. I don't know if that's intentional or just for fun or it doesn't matter. When I was sorting last year's Heritage, there were like at least 3 different discernible card stocks. And again, I don't think it really matters. I don't think one was more rare or special than the others. It was just, it kind of triggered my ADHD, OCD, whatever I had going at the time. So I will say, if there's no high numbers, like if there's no high number short prints for set builders, that's awesome. Because I literally have from last year 16 sets 1 through 400. but I only have 2 complete 401 through 500, and it's always easier to sell complete sets as opposed to complete everything but the short print sets. Yeah, I'm not seeing short prints. That's crazy. It'll be easier to pick out potentially in the hobby box just because the insert, the variant, the whatever, it's almost always in the same spot in the pack. So if you get to a card that doesn't look like it's anything, it might be a high number, or it might be nothing. Or they could have been really sneaky and sprinkled the short prints throughout the whole set, which is just annoying. Do, 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 do. All right. All right. So the Mega Box gave us 4 silver sparkles. I think that's pretty consistent with last year. Probably 4 chrome. Nope, I lied. 3 chrome, 1 refractor, 4 reds, and an insert. And a numbered card. So that's cool. Well, they've made it easier because up until like 2019 or so, you just had to know what to look for. I opened a pack of like 2005 Heritage in a card store 100 years ago, 21 years ago. And I'm just flipping through it, and I had never opened Heritage before, and the shop owner is like, "Oh, that's a whatever back." It was a variation. I wouldn't have known to look for it if he didn't tell me, and I still don't know for certain what the variation was. I will say these packs are easier to open this year, which I'm a fan of. Von Leiter, Horton, Rushman, Rushing, Carson, Weisenhunt, Refractor, and these are, yeah, they're like charcoal. They're not blue, but they're different. Kyle Karros, Cesar Prieto, Warming Bernabel, and Jack Winkler. Another rookies. I can't. Oh, it's the same card, just blue sparkle, and Mike Burrow's right behind that. I'm going to call that charcoal for right now. And ready and action, George Brett. Box has 1 autograph or relic card in every box, so I'm assuming I have a relic card coming up. Seiya Suzuki Refractor, NL Championship. That's just a normal card. But it's Shohei. That means that's worth at least $100 right there. Shohei. Ooh, a flipped card. What could it mean? It doesn't say anything. It was just flipped. This is a variation of some sort. I don't know what it is because it doesn't say specifically what the variation is. I'll have to figure that out later. The code is different on the back, which is my only clue that it's different. Although the code's near impossible to read even with my old man readers. Galen Sanchez O'Hearn, Blaylock Castellanos, Jonathan Aranda, Blue Sparkle, PCA, Charcoal, CJ Crafis, Manny Machado, Spencer Strider, Salvi, Yon. I got an auto. Warming Bernabel, star third baseman for the Colorado Rockies. Mookie Betts Chrome, Sergio Alcantara. Beckett has some of the info, but they don't have it all yet. So, yeah, I mean, I can go and find out what potential variants there are for Kirk. It's hard enough with, there's with just picking them out when the variant by sight, because some of them are really, like the cartoon was really bad, like was really hard to pick out last year, unless you knew what you were looking for. Let's see what it has to say. Team sets. Toronto Blue Jays. Well, it says there's no variant for Alejandro Kirk, so I could be wrong. Maybe they're just backwards for the fun of it. Yeah, there's no Austin Hayes variant, so it's just messing with me. How rude. That's brilliant. My God, I'll flip it over. I can read that. Colson Montgomery, Alex Freeland, Maximo Acosta, and Denzer Guzman, and Luis Hill. Yeah, now they're just messing with me. There's another color of the year, Bo Naylor, 4/77, Jared Jones, and Drake Baldwin. Tyler Stevenson, Parker Meadows, Kyle Tucker. Christian Yelich. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Nothing. Burger, nothing burger. Jeez. Jose Barrios, Cade Cavalli. Joe Adell, JJ Bleday. How are you going to make a Dodgers World Series card without Shohei Ohtani on it? This card would be worth $400 if it had Ohtani on it. Hassan Kim, Chrome. Oh, J-Dom doesn't have a rookie logo anymore. How rude. I'm sure he's going to have a rookie logo for another 2 or 3 years. Freeland Schwarber, Altuve, Shota Imanaga, Reese Olson, nothing special, just upside down to be annoying. All right, I'm going to go extra annoying on this one. All right, Michael Busch. Kodai Senga. So I have a theory. It's probably not a very good theory, but I have one nonetheless. Those cards that have been flipped, I think they're all coming up with City Connect uniforms. Maybe I'm wrong. So, I mean, that's a City Connect. Kodai Senga, he was flipped. But now I'm not going to have any flipped cards. Tatis, Jurickson Profar. The anchor of the Braves lineup. Ryan McMahon. Christian Moore. Raw Power, Aaron Judge. Yeah, this is going to be the end of my City Connect theory because it was a flipped 4-pack of pitchers. All right. As a Padres fan, I can say I'm happy he didn't get caught for that whole one season and then moved on. I can't remember the insert rate of inserts last year, but it seems light to me. I don't know if it is, but I seem to remember there being more inserts last year. Like I would think 8 per box would be about right. 4 inserts in a hobby box. There were 8 of these last year. There's 8 this year. 8 of these. 8 of those. 6. Refractors were rare. There were a couple per box. No, that's all right. That Kirk's not fancy. So those were my 2 big hits. Bo Naylor, Color of the Year 77, Warming Bernabel auto. Getting an auto in a box of Heritage is always a bonus. I can always complain about not being a red ink auto. And then the variations are theoretically printed right next to the number, the baseball. I didn't see any variations. That doesn't mean there aren't any variations, so I'm going to flip through really fast. But based on my mini multi-platform break here, I think this is a great product to buy singles off eBay. So that's crazy that if they reduce the size of the base set to 400, but there's more boxes printed this year. There's going to be so many base cards of this stuff available. Yeah, it does not look like I got a single fancy image, black and white, whatever in my stuff, but that's all right. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I like the fancy colors and all that rot they put into Heritage, even if the purists don't like it. Purists can go kick rocks. And that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go watch some TV and then be old and go to bed. Y'all have a good night.